What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. So today I'm really excited to present to you the Air Jordan 1 Hyper Royals. I'm so glad that I finally have these in hand, and these released very recently, but I was not able to cop a pair for retail. And I was really disappointed because I'm quite used to the idea of getting general release Jordan 1s for retail, and I guess I've been very lucky with all the releases, but it's just that this time it was basically raffle only, and I struck out on all of the raffles, and my friends didn't come through either. So, I was, really sad about it. I'm really disappointed, and I was kind of torn in between because, since I'm not so used to the concept of copying GR Jordan 1s for resale, I almost was about to just pass on this model, but then, I pulled myself together and I thought, this is probably one of the best colorways to release on a general release Jordan 1 this year, and I just needed to have this in my collection. And honestly, the price on these isn't looking too bad, at least where I live. And I actually had some extra cash coming in, and I thought, this might be a good opportunity to just pull the trigger on a general release Jordan 1. Why not? This is a fire ass pair. So this time I didn't go to the resale platforms. Instead, I just bought this off of someone else on on a sneaker community, and I was a little weary about getting buying these from just some random person, because I've noticed that there are a lot of fake pairs going around, and I saw a lot of videos on YouTube, and honestly, it was quite, scary how the fake pairs really look alike. But I finally, kind of trained my eyes to pick out the differences between the fake pair and the real pair, and then I'll get into that a little later. But without further ado, let's just dive right into the shoe. Now, the aesthetics of this shoe is just fantastic. I know a lot of people are comparing these to the Turbo Greens that released a couple years ago. I've never owned that pair personally, but I've seen it many times in the streets. And I can definitely tell where the resemblance arises, and I guess the reason is because the entire upper has this kind of cloudy feel to it, and as you can see, the entire upper is constructed using this kind of washed out blue, baby blue suede material, suede or nubuck material. It almost has that kind of washed denim feel, but the material definitely is not denim, and it is nubuck. And although the surface looks quite rough, it is pretty smooth to the touch, and I think it was a nice choice of materials on this particular pair. And on the mid panel, you see that kind of regular white leather that we've seen on a bunch of other Jordan 1 models, such as the Court Purples or the Royal Toes. There's nothing wrong with it. It's quite smooth. It's not too stiff or anything like that, so I'm not complaining. But what's interesting is that Jordan Brand used this kind of nubuck or suede material for the swoosh. This elephant gray colored swoosh accents the side of the shoe, and I think it's a very nice touch from Jordan Brand. And I really can't get over the fact that this part is really smooth when you kind of move your fingers across it. Moving towards the front of the shoe, you see more of that kind of nubuck material with that kind of tie-dye feel to it. And then you got these double stitching in the Hyper Royal color. And I think that's a really nice way to make the shoe pop a little bit more, because overall the tone can be a little bit muted, but you add these colors and you really make the shoe pop. And I think that's a really nice aesthetic choice that Jordan Brand made. And that sort of nubuck material extends all the way towards the toe cap area of the shoe. And once again, you get that kind of cloudy effect. This really reminds me of the sky that we see on a very nice day outside. So I think it's a really cool model. And the toe box, there's nothing too special about the toe box. You see that crisp white leather once again. It looks slightly tumbled, but there's nothing too special about it. It's not that stiff, it's not that smooth, it's just that regular white leather that we've been seeing a lot of times. And then you get those typical perforated holes on the toe box. And then moving towards the tongue of the shoe, you've got that crisp white nylon tongue here, and then you got that cotton white lace, partially factory laced onto the shoe. And then you see more of that kind of like nubuck material on the eye stay area with the lace holes. And as you can see, this shoe has a lot of texture to it, and I think it's really interesting to see, something different from time to time. And then on the tip of the tongue of the shoe, you've got that Nike Air logo, all done in white on a Hyper Royal, this really lively and vibrant blue colored nylon tongue tab. And I think it's a really nice contrast. And as you can see, this kind of blue matches with the blue used for the threads here. So that's something small, but it's a really cool detail, I guess. And then on the inside of the shoe, you see that kind of like I guess like light gray, smoke gray type of mesh material used for the sock liner. And then here you see the insole is actually this kind of white felt type of material with the Nike Air branding done in that Hyper Royal color as well. And then these do come with an extra set of laces, and once again, this color is that kind of like vibrant Hyper Royal color here. And it's really nice. I'm not really sure, but this shade of blue is really mesmerizing. There's something about it that I really like. And on the side of the shoe, the ankle area, you got that Air Jordan Wings logo debossed into the shoe, all in white. And it's got that real like kind of premium feel to it. It almost looks like a painting in my opinion. And I think that's really luxurious, even though it's not like anything premium or anything like that. It just kind of has that feel of like an oil painting, a nicely done oil painting, if you know what I mean. And then my favorite part of the shoe is actually the ankle area here, where we see that once again, that kind of like elephant gray or light gray material. But man, this nubuck material is really, really, really smooth to the touch. Very plush. It's slightly tumbled, and I don't know what they used here, but man, this material is they really killed it with this part. I wish they would use this type of nubuck material more and more on their Jordan 1 models. And on the heel area, the heel counter is basically like just like a huge canvas with this kind of like sky blue colored. It almost, once again, it really resembles like an oil painting for some reason. But you see more of that kind of like tie-dye type of foggy, cloudy, Hyper Royal nubuck material. And then the medial side is basically the same deal. And the midsole is that typical white midsole that we see on any other Jordan 1 model. And then the outsole, man, the outsole is also really cool. It's really crisp. It's that kind of like light gray outsole. The traction pad is like the typical stuff that we see on any Jordan 1 model. And man, this pair is really, really cool. So yeah, and I don't think I've mentioned, but I actually copped 2 pairs for resale. I was just trying to pick out the pair with a better price, and so I actually have another pair, and I tried those on just a couple hours ago. I just went for a short walk in them, and my sizing tip would be just go true to size. That's what I do with all my Jordan 1s, and there's no problem with it. Wearability wise, man, this is a killer summer shoe. I rock these in my just like my gray sweatpants, and they go really, really well with the gray sweatpants, as you can imagine. So that's my best recommendation. Obviously, if the summertime comes, you could probably rock these with shorts. So it really should not be a problem wearing these with your daily outfit. Since I have 2 pairs and I'm actually wearing one, I think I'm gonna do like an on-feet review later on, but yeah, just wait for that, and should be no problem with pulling these off. What I do want to mention though is kind of like the issue with the fake pairs. I've seen a bunch of videos on YouTube, and I'm not. I don't want to go into too much detail about what's going on these days with the sneaker scene, but it seems like a lot of people are just casually throwing around the term UA. And I'm not an expert or anything like that. I've learned this from like other like sneaker YouTubers such as, like Chris from Wear Testers and like Tony D2L and whatnot. It seems like it's probably impossible to cop a UA pair unless you're like deeply, deeply plugged in. So what people are casually calling UA pairs are probably fake or just like replicas. And what I've noticed is that these fake pairs or replica pairs are just they're scary, man. They look really, really close to the actual pair. And so I studied a lot of videos online, and I recommend you guys do it too if you're trying to cop a pair for resale. And you know, people talk about like differences in like materials and the like slight designs and whatever, but man, no, there's no way you're gonna tell that from just looking at pictures or anything like that, just by the materials or whatever. What I've noticed in like say like 10 plus videos is that there are a couple points that are consistently wrong with the fake pairs that are circulating right now, and that is precisely the color of the laces, the extra laces, and the color of the nylon tongue tab. Now, I really wish I could have a fake pair side so that I could do a side by side comparison. But I mean, I honestly don't want to spend money on fake pairs. But what I want to tell you is that a lot of other YouTubers have spent that money to do that comparison for you. So what I recommend is that you go to those videos and really, really kind of train your eyes to tell the difference, or at least try to train yourself to this kind of like shade of blue in the laces, because there's really something wrong with the fake pair of laces. The fake pair of laces, in my opinion, are kind of like, I guess they're like slightly muted in comparison to the actual color. This royal blue really stays true to its name. It has that royal feel. It's very vibrant and very lively, and it really stands out. The fake pair laces that I've seen in like all of the videos, they are quite muted, and for some reason they look kind of like dusty or like foggy in comparison to this pair, this set of laces. And same goes to the nylon tongue tab. So what I did was I got really, really, really used to the shade of blue. I know that's kind of bullshit because it should probably look different in different types of like settings of lightings. But still, I really looked into like all the pictures I could find and all the videos that I can find to kind of like, train my eyes to it. And luckily, I copped two pairs, so I was able to compare the two pairs that I had. And what I've noticed is that actually the other pair that I had was authenticated by a resale platform, and then I got that pair from another person. So I had that sort of security, and I was able to compare the two laces, and they basically matched up. So I thought, my best bet would be that this pair is real. And I own a bunch of Jordan 1's, so I can always like do the smell test and compare like each detail of the Jordan 1. But what I'm saying is that if you don't have like a good like set of samples or whatnot, or if you don't have the time or money to do that, just kind of train your eyes to it. That's just my basic or like best advice that I could give you if you're trying to cop a pair for resale. Obviously, the best way to go about doing it is probably going to sites like StockS or whatever. But there are times that we're trying to hunt for the best price, so you got to do what you got to do. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents on it. And I don't want to go into detail about it, like the fake pairs or like the UA pairs. It's just that I don't buy fakes, period, because I don't want some other dude just making off money doing selling illegal products to other people. A lot of people shit on resellers because they kill the game, but at least they're playing the game. And if you're fortunate enough or if you're passionate enough, I think you got to pay to play. If you don't want to pay to play, that's fine. That's totally fine. It's just that I don't want to feed some other dude like just free cash selling just like fake pairs. That's just my opinion. You can choose to defer, but that's what I think. But anyways, enough of that. Like, I mean, this is just a fantastic pair of Jordan 1s, and I really hope you guys can get your hands on these if you really want these. I know the resale price is quite crazy right now, but honestly, I think this is probably one of the best colorways in terms of GR Jordan 1s this year. So it might be a pretty good time to pull the trigger if you've been saving up. But if you don't want to, it's fine. You can just pass on them. We're going to get a lot of other Jordan 1s this year anyway. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. We're really getting to that 500 mark, and I really appreciate all your support and interest. So I'll be back with another video really soon. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, thanks for watching.